What's up, Builders Club TV Nation? You got Dewan Jones here, your professional stay-at-home dad, and man, I'm excited, fired up once again, family. We got another phenomenal individual on the show for you tonight. This gentleman is really lighting it up out there, guys, in this industry we love. We call network marketing, entrepreneur, financial literacy coach, business mentor, helping a lot of people win big in this industry. We got Jaabecca Jones on the show. Let me get myself on camera, family, so I can see you. And always, I want to address you and tell you thank you for tuning into the show. Thank you so much for the support and sharing the platform with your friends, letting people know that, finally the home business industry has its very first home business late show. This is where we get it in, family. Let me get Jaabecca on the show with us and make sure you can hear us okay. What's going on, brother? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Let me get you on camera as well so that we can speak to you and see what's going on in your neck of the woods. Thank you for coming on to the Builders Club TV show.
Bro, thanks for having me, man. I'm super hyped, man. I've been watching a lot of your programs, man, for quite some time now, so this is a complete honor, for real.
Amazing. Well, man, hey, we're honored just as well to have you on to talk to you, man, and hear about your story. We've been having a lot of fun doing that, speaking to so many phenomenal people like yourself, and we've learned that there's so much to uncover when you start digging into the past of successful people. Would you agree?
Man, absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Amazing, man. So if you've seen the show a little bit, Jaabecca, what we like to do is we like to throw you into our Builders Club TV time machine. This is where we take the family back and we talk to you about your past and your journey to success, and even the bumps in the road along the way, and how you overcame obstacles to really, just climb to the, level where you are today, man. So can we do that with you?
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. Looking forward to sharing.
Awesome. So, hey, man, let's jump into the time machine and tell us, man, tell the family, share with us, what were you doing before you found out about network marketing?
Man, that's a really interesting question because, when I found out about network marketing, believe it or not, I was literally 17 years old. And it's crazy because my dad, I guess he must have joined the company years ago, as so many of us do, right? We join the company and then we stop or we give up or we quit. And so he must have joined the company. This is back in the days where when you joined the company, you got a big, dumb kit, right? It had like 27 books, 47 CDs, one of those type deals.
Right.
And I opened it up, man, and I just started reading it. And the more I read it, the more I fell in love. And then I started looking at all the circles and numbers and residuals, man. In my mind, I'm like, why isn't he doing this? So I literally was trying to figure out a way how I'm like, trying to get him to see if he can get back active and I could just do it. I'm like 16, 17. And of course he was like, dude, shut up. I'm saying, no, we're not doing that. But that really opened my mind to the industry.
Right.
And, from that point on, it was always in the backdrop. But of course, they try to shut you down. Families don't tell you shouldn't do that. And so I got out, I moved out. I was not the most, I wasn't the best child in the world. When I turned 18, I was just doing everything you shouldn't do. As you know, and you're a child, you just make all the wrong choices. I made all the wrong choices. And so I was trying to work different jobs, and I found myself working at a place called Kaler National Trunk. I never forget, I was the only person in the building that wasn't 80 years old and Jewish, right? So, and a woman, right? So, but I was blessed. There were such sweet women that gave me a job, and I was in the stock room in the basement. And so I'm unloading stock and open the stock, and all of a sudden I would always see these happy people in suits pulling up in nice cars, smiling, going upstairs. And so one day I said, you know what, I'm gonna, because my supervisors, they were like real strict about work, and so I knew I really couldn't inquire on the clock. And so what I did was I made sure one day I was off, I came back to work and went to see what they were doing. And man, I sat down, and I never forget, man, it was just amazing to me. They showed me everything, and that company was like $5,000 buy-in. And so I obviously didn't have the money. And so I was literally just working, trying to sell product, just trying to get to the 5,000.
Right.
And that was just, again, another introduction. I mean, that company, I went to a lot of different trainers at the age of like 18, 19, 20. I'd say 18, 19. And then the company went under, and it kind of just fizzled off, but it was still something like, I really enjoyed that little bit of time. I really enjoyed the learning. I enjoyed the training, the personal development. And I just loved the opportunity just to be your own boss. But again, life happens. So I kept progressing in life and working jobs and things like that. And I always knew that I really didn't like jobs. And then eventually I partnered with another company.
Right.
And I watched my cousin introduced me to the company, and his friend, who became my friend, who grew up in just the hood in my city.
Yeah.
This gentleman was a janitor, and he was the first black man I had really seen that I knew who made money. I mean, he came into this company, and within a year, he was a 6-figure earner.
Wow.
And that just blew my mind. So I had all these examples, and then he connected me to another gentleman that ended up becoming a millionaire, multimillionaire on the platform. You actually introduced him, Mr. John Malott. So all
Shout
of
out
these
to John Malott.
Yes, Mr. John Malott. Yeah, he's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's one of the major contributing factors as somebody whom I've seen, doing it. And so I saw all of that success, Dewan, right? And I still quit, right? So fast forward, because I wasn't seeing success. I was just around successful people. And then, man, I never forget, I started working at a bank, and next thing you know, man, I got recruited. One of my good friends recruited me in another industry called selling drugs, right? And I went to I didn't see no presentation. He just told me what it was, and he told me about the comp plan, and I was in. And
another type of network marketing, right?
So another type of network marketing company, So I started doing that, man, and I was doing well, but I knew after a while that this was going. I knew, man, I can't do this. I can't do this forever. But I didn't know how I was going to get out. And my friend he said he was out. He said, man, I can't do this anymore. I'm not trying to go in prison. I didn't think it was going to grow this fast. And instead of me hearing all the, hearing my brother and my sister and all these people telling me I shouldn't do it, the green-eyed monster came out, man. I'm like, man, y'all crazy. I'm going harder. And so fast forward, and one day I wake up to, and that's it. You know what I mean? So, I never forget, October 26th, 2017, man, I was sentenced, and I was just like, man, I can't believe I just let my family down like this. I'm gonna go. They gave me 6 years, but I was able to do 3 in, 3 out, and I was able to leave out a little earlier because of a boot camp that I was in. And I mean, I just remember just how hurt everybody was, and how hurt I felt, and how they were talking about me like I was Nino Brown, and I'm just like, man, how did I get here? And so all of that, man, was fuel. I never forget when I went in, I said, you know what? This is a spiritual retreat. I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna come out better than I came in. And I'm gonna, instead of this being the end, this is gonna be the story. And I'll be able to tell the world. And look at me right now. I'll be able to tell the story on the platform. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big part of it. I mean, there's obviously more to it to right now, the present, but that's like the base of everything. My mom and dad, I have 7 brothers, 2 sisters. My mom and dad both worked very hard. I was a homeschooler, so I wasn't, I didn't have any excuses why I wasn't successful. It was all choices.
Right.
And our life is based on choices.
Absolutely. Interesting story so far, man. In fact, I want to talk to you about something that I know a lot of people, especially in our industry or just in entrepreneurship in general, deal with, and that's mental blocks. Experiences that we have can play a major role in the type of mental blocks that we have. So talk to us about that, because I know you had to have some serious mental blocks in terms of going into entrepreneurship from that situation of, getting into the drug game and then going to prison and then discovering or looking into different ways to change your life. But what kept you, what kind of attitude did you have towards a new change in your life? You see what I'm trying to say? Like, basically, what mental blocks did you have that maybe you felt like, I need to change my life, but can I do it? Can this happen for me?
Well, man, first of all, I talk to my team about this all the time, man. I talk about limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are a real deal. And if you don't address those limiting beliefs, they will control you. And, I never forget when I went into prison, literally as I was leaving the courtroom, let me go back. The night before, when I knew I was getting sentenced, I had a conversation with my brother, and I said, listen, I'm going in tomorrow, but just so you know, I'm okay with that. I had made a decision at that point that this whole process from this point on is a spiritual retreat. And so that was a defining moment from that point on. So even though I knew I was in prison, I never looked at it as prison. As dark as it was, and as hurt as I was, and as much as I missed everybody, I knew I had to come in here and follow some principles that would allow me to come out here and become a better person. See, I knew that if I didn't do it there, I wasn't going to do it out here. You know what I'm saying? I knew that if I wasn't going to do it when nobody else was watching, then when everybody else was watching, I was going to fail. So this was a personal commitment to myself and to God. And so I went in there, I never forgot. I stopped cursing. I made sure I stayed around certain people. I only spoke positivity. Everything that I do now is the same things I was doing in there. I mean, I curse here and there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? So, I was recruiting in there. I was mentoring in there. I was inspiring people in there. I was telling people, listen, man, you don't got to go back out here and sell drugs, bro. I was even talking about network marketing. There's a better way. I was telling stories in there about the job I was telling you about Mr. Mulatto, about the industry.
Wow.
So when I came home, first of all, it didn't happen immediately. It was a transition, but the mindset for me was the mental block that I had let go of that mental block.
Right.
At least the mental block of what's possible. Like I knew it was possible. I also knew that I was created for better. So when I came home, there was absolutely no doubt in my mind that I was not the person they said I was, and that I was better than who I had been this far. So that was done already. The next mental block I had to overcome was, am I worthy? Like, can I do this? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like with everything that's going on in my life, can I really do this? Because I knew I knew the actual resume. The resume wrote start, quit, start, quit, start, quit, start, quit, start, quit, start, quit. You know what I'm saying? I was a great starter.
Right.
But the finishing game was weak. So I knew what I had to do. I said, okay, Jaabecca, what are you trying to accomplish here? Everything you've done, you've always quit. I mean, I literally have never accomplished anything of great value. My biggest accomplishment is getting married, my children, and being able to take care of my mom, because of everything she's done for me. Those are my top biggest accomplishments. But before that, man, I didn't graduate high school. I got my GED. I never graduated college, and so for me, I had a lot of limiting beliefs about my success. And what I was able to, it was good to talk about it,
right,
but actually walking it out was a whole nother thing. So that was the mental block I had to actually get past to get to where I'm at now.
Wow.
And to be able to do that, it just took a decision. You know what I mean? A decision.
There it is, man. And I absolutely love the way that you framed the way that you were going to navigate your situation, which is proof. That's verification that no matter what the situation is, no matter what you're going through, you have the power to frame how you're going to navigate your situation. That makes sense. So
that makes total sense.
Yeah, you did it, man. You're proof that it works. Take us to, fast forward a little bit and take us to the point where you join the company that is now taking to the next level. What happened? What was the breaking point? What was the, what happened to where the shift took place?
Brother, listen, I'm going to tell you, I literally, so now I told you I went in where I came out, literally was 10 years had passed, right? 10 years passed. Now I'm at the point where I'm like, dude, I haven't done anything I said I was going to do. Mm-hmm. From the perspective of what a quote unquote felon is supposed to accomplish, yeah, I'm doing great. I'm working a good job. I'm making good money enough to take care of my family. My wife is working. We have purchased several properties. I lost one, but we still got another one we made a profit off of. So from the perspective of everybody else, I'm doing great. But in my heart, I'm dying because I'm like, I didn't, everything I said I wanted to do, I haven't accomplished it. And I had literally given up on the industry. I had literally said, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. It's been 10 years. Everything I've done, I've failed at. And so it's crazy how things happen because my wife, who also was never a fan of the industry, was working a job and she was going for her master's degree. And she was getting paid less than her supervisor, who had no degree. And she was literally coming home angry, sometimes crying. And I'm like, wow, I've never seen her like this. She went to school all this time, 7 years, finally graduates, gets the job, and now she hates it. And at the same token, there was a lot going on with our children. There was just a lot of things with school and everything. So it was very difficult for me to navigate and leave work if I need to, because obviously you have PTO and occurrences and all this stuff. So my job was at risk, even though I'm the top producer at my job. My wife hates her job, and my wife sees something on social media, and she brought it to me. My wife recruited me, the one who hates network marketing,
Wow.
recruited me.
Wow.
So even to this day, I'm in her organization. You see what
Wow.
I'm saying? So
Wow.
that's yeah. So she recruited me, and I looked at it, and I couldn't believe it. I literally was like, "Are you kidding me? God, are you serious?" And then so for me again, that framework, I said, "This is it. This is the answer to my prayers. This is the opportunity God has finally given it to me. Now what are you going to do with it?" So we got started, man, and we put 100% razor sharp focus, followed the mentor, and within 4.5 months, man, we were able to walk away from our full-time jobs. And I don't say that for those of you who are watching, I don't say that to say that we were balling, you know what I'm saying? We weren't balling, but we saw the potential. I mean, we had made enough money where we see, okay, we can make money doing this. And so we decided, you know what, if we're gonna put 100% going to work, 100% of these jobs, and we need time freedom anyway, let's go. And when you have, and with her being right there with me, I won't lie and tell you that didn't help a great deal. Because when you have that support, it really makes it easier. So because when you have those ups and downs, at least you can with somebody. You know what I mean? Now, mind you, she had some moments when she was about to bust me in my head because it was frustrating. But it's still an industry that has ups and downs.
Right.
But man, it was a blessing. So we were at 4.5 months, we would walk away from our jobs. Now, almost 3 years later, man, it's amazing, man. We've been able to create an income that I used to dream about, and man, and now we just want to help other people do it.
Amazing. You know, speaking of ups and downs, I want to get into this a little bit and talk to you, man, because interesting times we're living in right now, right? To say the least. And, you know, it has affected every industry, and we're not immune to it. So you as a professional in this industry and also having a lot of success, and speaking of navigating, how have you been able to navigate this pandemic that we're dealing with? And, you know, how do you think it's affecting the industry right now?
And you know what? If you look at how I came into, when you talk about frameworks, I framework everything. And so I always look at things from a perspective of opportunity. And so when everything jumped off with the pandemic, I think because I'm human, the initial thought is, oh wow, what's going to happen? But then we realized that, you know what? We don't have an opportunity right now. We don't have the luxury of making excuses. You know, I don't live in that world where excuses matter anyway. We have an industry where people need what we're offering. We have people right now need opportunities. So we just looked at it as an opportunity. And I'm blessed, not only did we, but you know, our mentors and our entire organization looked at it the same way. And we actually broke records during this pandemic.
Wow.
I mean, I'm talking about literally lives have been changed forever because of this pandemic. This pandemic for us has been a blessing. So it just comes down to, you know, and I realized being, you know, listening to some of the industry leaders, I realized that that's not for everybody. Like what happened for us wasn't for everybody. And so that even allows you to really humble yourself and say, thank you. You know, for me, it's thank you, Jesus, because man, it didn't have to be that way. We could have went to a situation where it was really tough, but instead it was a blessing. And so you can't allow anything to change your goals. Like you still got to be focused. You still have to put the plan in place. You still got to go to work. So yeah, this is like Jim Rohn says, you know, everything goes up and down. Everything has seasons. So we have this pandemic, then we're gonna have a season, you know what I'm saying, of positivity. It's gonna be ups and downs, whatever. You just gotta ride that wave, and you know, and hold on. You know what I'm saying? And hold on, and everything will work itself out.
No, that's good. That's good. How do you think it's changing how people do business now? We've been locked in our homes, and we can't go to the meetings. There's no live events happening. How do you think it's affecting the business side of what we do? And then how are you guys doing with that?
Man, I think it's forced the archaic network marketers to level up. Really, you know what I mean? I think that, you know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I didn't battle with, you know, I call it the old school and new school way of doing things. And I think I never battled with the reality that social media is king, right? And if you don't take advantage of that, you're really just hurting yourself. But I think a lot of people battle with that because we have these time-tested truths that we pass down in this industry that we look at as law. And sometimes these laws are hindering people from really opening up their minds to what's going on right now. So I always tell people network marketing, it's like any other profession, right? Look at basketball. Like there was a time where there was no 3-point shot. You know what I'm saying? But now we have a 3-point shot.
Right.
So take the talk about 3-point shot. I'm talking about, I'm from the old school. I don't what? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So there was a time in video games, right, where if you would play live, your guy had to be right next to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, my son's up at 3 o'clock in the morning screaming. I'm like, dude, go to bed. He's talking to his guy playing the game.
Right.
So we got to evolve. And there's the industry, and then there's the principles that remain. Right. There's principles that never change, but you have to also incorporate the times and the tools that come with the times. And I think that this pandemic forced people to realize that you definitely can build a business 100% online. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, you can. You know this as well before the pandemic. I've known this. You probably interviewed numerous people who built this 100% online. But then what hurts is that you have some people that are still out here saying, don't do that.
About that, Facebook.
There's so many different ways to build on social media, and one of the things that's killing it right now is IG, and predominantly with IG, paid ads and things of that nature. But Facebook has been a blessing to me because I really didn't have time to learn how to do ads and all of that. I really wasn't. Maybe I won't say I didn't have time. Maybe I was just impatient. But because I had been building on Facebook for so long, for me it didn't make sense to go on another platform trying to learn something new when I have a strength in Facebook already. And that's just, for me, it's a success principle. Don't work on your weaknesses, focus on your strengths. And so with that, I realized that, and people were telling me all the time, bro, you can't build on Facebook. Like, Facebook is dead. And I'm like, well, I'm literally watching these mentors that I'm studying, and they've built this on Facebook. So I realized that that's just people projecting their inabilities on you and expecting you to accept that. And so my wife and I realized, man, you know what? We're gonna go hard with Facebook, because Facebook allows the average person with zero money for marketing, if you learn the skills, to build a big business, right? If you can focus on branding yourself, that's the first thing I teach everyone that joins the organization. We got to clean it up. You have to now evolve into the person. You have to let Facebook project you as who you are trying to be right now, right? And by getting professional pictures, by branding, by structuring your pictures a certain way, all that stuff. Number one, branding. Two, you have to become an inspiration. You have to teach people or show people that there's more out here. Make them feel good to come here. There's so much negativity on social media. There's so much going on, especially now, that if they come to your page and get inspired, they're literally going to come back because they love what you're doing. They love how they feel while they're on your page. So you got to inspire people. So I show people how to make creative quotes and how to get quotes that are going to immediately touch people. You have to educate people. People want to learn stuff that's going to benefit their lives. And if you take education, then you put an equal sign next to it and say value, right? And you want to give people value in a way that information that they would pay for, but you're giving it to them for free. Something that they can use and apply that's going to benefit them, not just anything. Educate them on something that's going to benefit them. And then lastly, you got to empower people, right? You got to see, inspiration and motivation is cool, but empowering is a whole nother power. That's something where you're giving them power, right? You're giving them something, showing them a way that they do these things. They can transform their life. They can accomplish this goal. They can make these ends meet. Social media is your, I call it that's your city. That's your world. And in that world, you're the mayor. So you dictate what's going on. Once you learn that, it's over.
Amazing stuff, brother. I mean, like I said, we can talk to you for hours, man, and learn so much from you. But what I want to do before we get out of here, man, I do want to play a game with you that we've been playing with our guests. We call it a word of advice with a mentor. And the way that we play, man, is really simple. I know you're going to kill it. I just basically give you a few words, and then you're going to give us back a word of advice using the word that I give you. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right, so if you're ready to play, I got the first word for you, and it's action.
Action, man. Listen, you got to take action. Don't be the type of person who overanalyzes the situation. I think the biggest mistake we make, not just in this industry, but in life, is that we overanalyze things. Take action. The learning is in the doing, and you're not. I'd say everybody's bad in the beginning. But take action so that you can actually start to see your learning curve and really start to modify, get the feedback, apply the feedback, and become better.
Good stuff. The next word is focus.
Focus. Oh, man. You gotta stay focused on the goal. This is probably one of the biggest challenges people have because everybody wants you to focus on what they think is important. Especially when you're talking about this space of industry of network marketing. The people are always going to tell you what you're doing is stupid, it's wrong, you can't accomplish the goal. You have to take off all the distraction and you have to focus on your goal so much that people think that you're crazy, that you are obsessed. Focus to me means obsessed. You got to be obsessed. Kobe Bryant was obsessed. I'm obsessed with this industry. And so I'm obsessed with helping other people. So you have to be focused. So take focus and transfer that to obsessed. And I think you'll find if you're not obsessed, then you're going to have a long road. You got to be obsessed.
Love it. Love it. The next word is money.
Money is an amazing tool. It really is. It's something that if you lack it, it's very, very, very frustrating. And if you have it, you can bless a lot of people. So I would say don't focus on the money, focus on serving, and the money will come.
Good stuff. The next word is support.
Support, man. Listen, there's so many different ways to go that, but when I give advice on support, I just say, support your organization, support your team, support your closest family members. In other words, for me, it's my wife, my children, but don't expect support from everybody else. Okay? You're in business for yourself. Your goals are your goals. That's why you're behind this, you. And so you can't expect support from people. Don't look for support from the people that don't have the vision, right? But at the same token, if you have support from your mentors, if you have support from people that you don't even know, like I use YouTube to find support. I read books to get support. I pray to get support. So don't expect support from the things that you want it to come from. Take it where it's available. And more importantly, be a support to other people.
Awesome. Awesome. The very last and final word that we have for you, man, is opportunity.
Seize it. Don't, if you see it and you feel it in your gut, you're going to have ups and downs during that opportunity. Opportunity doesn't mean success. Opportunity means a seed, right? So once you plant the seed, you got to do the work. You have to water it. You got to give it light. You got to nourish it, right? And you got to be patient with the process. Every opportunity comes with a gestation process. That's a process where everything grows, right? So no matter how much, I want a computer in the factory, there's a process to create that computer. And no matter, I might want it in 2 minutes, but it still takes a certain amount of time. If you have a tree, you plant the tree grows. No matter how mad you want it to grow faster, it's going to grow at the time that tree grows. So the opportunity for you're the seed. And if you want the opportunity to manifest into success, you have to commit to that. So don't just start an opportunity, seize an opportunity. Take advantage of the opportunity by doing the work. And for me, because I look at an opportunity as a blessing, I don't reject blessings. And so if I see an opportunity that can transform my life, or you see an opportunity that can transform your life, take advantage of it. Do everything possible to maximize that opportunity so that you can then bless other people with opportunities as well.
Amazing. You crushed it, man. Totally killed it. I have mad confidence that you're going to do that, man. But thank you for playing the game with us. Thank you for being on the show. We definitely got to have you back, man.
Man, I appreciate you, man. I look forward to it. Thank you for everything you're doing, Dwayne. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart, man. You're really blessing people a lot with this platform. So we appreciate you as well, man.
I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for tuning in, family. We'll see you next time. There you have it. Jaabecca Jones. Peace.
Yo, raising the Tobago's, we growing like fresh tomatoes. Them boys on fire, too fuego, we pass it round hot potato. Everything is nuevo, I'm with my sweetie like Quavo. Need my cheese, need that queso, need my bread, need that bankroll. Wake up, yes Lord, I'm thankful, another day on my schedule. Steady blocking the devil, I tell a hater, God bless you.
El mentor en cierta manera es el GPS que te va a llevar a la ubicación que tú estás buscando.
This person, the mentor, it's like a GPS. He or she is going to take you to the place you want to be.
Now, what is the vision for your business? Because it's put like this: once you define a vision, now you can define purpose. And once you define the vision and purpose, now you can define the disciplines or the role that you'll take, if you will.
You operate in integrity, and when you lead by example, and when you have the character, and when you give into other people's lives, there's some principles that have to come into place.
When I got started, man, you know, everybody told me no, nobody wanted to do it. Everybody said, you know, do the traditional course, you know, stay in school, get good grades, get a business degree, graduate, go get a job. And I stayed in school, but I stayed in school to network and build my network, right? Because we all know your network turns out to be your net worth later on in life. So I stayed in school, but I was doing meetings, I was doing presentations, I was prospecting people.
I met my first mentors in network marketing, and they helped me understand that I don't need a job, I need an income. And there's a major difference there. And income can come from many different sources. It can come from a job. That's the traditional way that most people do it. But it can also come from other ways that can produce time freedom for you. And I saw the home business world as a way for me to be able to create income for me and my future family, and in a way that I could also maintain time freedom.
They will join you. You make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, you've bought into, that you believe what you are saying, and that you become the biggest promoter for your business that you can be. And so with that being said, it doesn't matter. Everybody goes through that hurdle of family not joining them. Trust and believe the multi-million dollar earners have gone through family members not joining them.
And so I have to be focused. Nothing can derail me from that, because I know what I'm trying to accomplish and nothing else. And I can't stop. Even when I hit a target or hit a goal, I have to have another goal. What drives you? Now you have to ask yourself, like, what would you do for free? I would coach for free, because that's how I knew I was passionate. That's what gives me fulfillment. And I see the lifestyle I have now, and I know that I can do more to help others get the same. You know, I want people to be free from bondage.